Welcome to Preparing for the Unexpected. Today, I wanted to talk about something I heard on the talk radio news station just down the road from where I live. It's about escalation and notification to leadership. I was listening to the radio, and the Kitchener-Waterloo counselors, regional counselors, and everyone else that was involved were blindsided earlier this year with being told that there is a water crisis, that water levels are getting low, but the demand is going up. They were never told that there was even a study going on, and now they're kind of in response mode, trying to get caught up as to what's going on, what's happening. Regional council and city councils are, well, or were, not so much now, but were clueless that there was an issue. Now that they've been told, they're running around trying to fix things. And it got me thinking, when should we let our leadership know that we have a potential issue? We shouldn't wait till something happens. Perhaps there are thresholds we need to reach before we notify them, like a help desk. Maybe we fix an issue within the first 30 minutes. If we don't fix it with the first line, we move it to second line support and we notify them. If they can't fix it, it escalates up more because maybe a bigger issue that needs to be investigated. So it got me thinking about all these things and why we should let our executive and leadership know. And some of that I just mentioned, actually, thresholds are being met or not being met, I should say, that something needs to be looked at. We're finding that a partner, especially in today's world, partners or vendors are having an issue, experiencing an outage or some sort of a disruption, and that may impact us. Well, we've got to let people know right away. We can't just wait for this vendor to come back an hour, half a day, 2 days, and say, oh, okay, yes, there is an impact, or no, things are okay, while we're sitting and operating in limbo. We need to let people know because sometimes an executive can pick up the phone and get somebody else to come in and help or make a decision about it, saying, you know what, we don't need that for a while. Let's just monitor it. We'll stop production on something for a few days. Or if we have to activate any kind of crisis or response team for whatever reason, or business continuity plans get activated, ITDRP gets activated for something, let them know. They may not have anything they need to do or decisions to make, but they should be aware that some of these plans, processes have been initiated to address what's going on. Sometimes just knowing will help. If you blindside your leadership, well, then you're going to have some issues because then you're behind the eight ball the entire way and you're always playing catch up, and you don't want to be playing catch up. If there is a risk to your company reputation, the safety of people, your compliance issues, depending on what industry you're in, you may need to report things right off the bat. So you need to let leadership know when these types of events occur, so that they understand and have a better handle on what's going on. There's a couple of things that executives always want to know, at least right off the bat. They may ask for more detail later, but they're going to want to know what happened, what's the potential impact, what actions are underway, and when they'll get the next update. This keeps them informed and doesn't overwhelm them with too much information right off the bat, because too much information, of course, will lead to confusion, a lot more questions that maybe aren't even relevant because they've just been bombarded with information, like these counselors in Kitchener-Waterloo who had no idea what was going on. So suddenly they had all kinds of questions and were trying to play catch up and probably still are. I want to give a shout out just before I did this recording to a LinkedIn article that I came across 5 minutes before I started, to Yanis Athanasopoulos. I hope I'm saying that name right. He had an article, When to Escalate an Issue, a Strategic Approach for Leaders, and I'll put the link down in the description. He had something that I thought was rather interesting in his article that I wanted to include, so I'll give him a shout out here. They as in leadership, need to know when there is a high risk that we can't solve the issue in-house. If we have to bring in maybe external counsel to help with this, our HR is involved, uh, other groups or companies, partners are involved. They need to be involved with this. You've got to let leadership know when something like that happens. We cannot fix this issue on our own. We need all these other people to do it. They should know about that, especially if legal is involved, because it could be a cyber event, could be a privacy concern, could be something else. You've got to make sure leadership know. And I want to add a final thought, something that I was told a long time ago. And I touched on it by saying safety. I was told by a crisis manager of experience who's long retired since, but told me right off the bat. He said, rule of thumb, if people are impacted positively or negatively, let someone know. So that's something I've always thought about since then, and I always keep in the back of my mind. So take a look at your escalation and notification plans. Do they address these types of things, or are they simple, we've already had an issue, now we're escalating? Sometimes you got to take the proactive step and do it early, and you can get ahead of rumor and conjecture. Till next time, stay prepared, everybody.